Let's try this.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Shh.
Taking it back to grade school.
There you go. Can we ask everybody to take their seats, please? Shh. There we go. Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome to Faces 2022. My co-host Owen Lefebvre and I want to thank you for joining us tonight. It is very special to meet again in person to celebrate Gulf Coast and our honorees. It's been a couple of long years of social distancing and Zoom meetups, right? I don't know about you all, but I have to admit I still get just a little bit squeamish when I attend large gatherings in person. Just in case you're nervous, I want to assure you there's really very little to worry about because I have seen Owen's negative PCR test result. We also want to politely ask you to refrain from storming the stage to thank us at the end of the program. Please keep your distance and stay at least 6 feet away. On a more purposeful note, I've served on Gulf Coast Board of Directors for over a decade. And I want to start our evening by sharing with you for a brief moment why I am personally so committed to the mission of this organization. I think it was about 30 years ago now that Hillary Clinton coined the phrase, "It takes a village." And she, of course, was talking about the community of support from parents and grandparents to teachers and neighbors needed to raise healthy and well-rounded children. I also learned during the final years of my parents' long lives that it takes a village to help our mentors and loved ones live meaningful lives with dignity and purpose till the end of their days. So I think of Gulf Coast JFCS as serving much the same purpose for the cities we live in, for St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Tampa, for Brandon and Spring Hill. Now, many of us here have families and friends that serve as our village of support, but that's not true for everyone. And everyone needs a village, as much as you and I. Gulf Coast JFCS and organizations like it provide the fabric which knits our larger community together into one big village that provides support for all in times when we need it most. For children in need of new families, for Holocaust survivors, for refugees from war-torn lands resettling in our city, to neighbors struggling with homelessness and mental health challenges. That's why I support Gulf Coast. And by your presence here tonight, I think and hope you agree. Thank you very much for joining us. And now, I'd like to ask my partner in crime, Owen Lefebvre, to tell you more about our program tonight. Owen is the market president in Pinellas County for the Bank of Tampa, and he has generously committed his energy and time to help us make tonight a record-breaking evening for Gulf Coast. Owen.
Thank you, Jay. I was teasing with Jay before we started about our notes and our script here, and had been at an event before where the second speaker up, when they walked away, they actually took all of the notes. So that person had to just ad-lib. I promise I won't do that to you, Jay. A couple housekeeping things, I guess. The bar is open until 8, so extended hours, so please enjoy the libations outside if your glasses run dry. Also, make sure that you have your food cards out in front of you so the waitstaff knows what you're eating tonight. But and the final thing, Jay and I had a gentleman agreement tonight to not slap each other. That is, but you have to keep my wife's name out of your mouth. It's the one rule. The one rule. Fair enough, fair enough. So when Sandra asked me to be the Gulf Coast Community Chair this year, I learned one very important lesson, and that is just to say yes. Do not say, I will think about it. Just say yes, and your life will be much, much easier. Now, that lesson would serve me if I actually did that at home as well with my wife, but unfortunately, either I am a slow learner or I'm just stubborn, and if you ask my wife, she would probably say a little bit of both, and I'm sorry she's not here this evening. It is our 14-year-old's birthday tonight, so this has actually afforded me the opportunity to be out of the house with a sleepover with 6 14-year-old girls shrieking and laughing, so thank you, Sandra, and thank you to all of you. So as these commitments go, Jay and I contacted what seemed like hundreds of individuals asking for your support of Gulf Coast. I am truly amazed and inspired by how receptive and generous so many of you were. I'm the one who is tremendously inspired by the response, the generosity of both longtime friends of Gulf Coast, but also new friends as well. So I thank you for the opportunity to serve alongside you and all of your generosity. We've planned an evening that we hope conveys the power of generosity, compassion, courage, and hope, and accomplishes what Gulf Coast is all about. So tonight our format was supposed to be a tribrid, which was going to be the first time. And so why try? Well, number one, a three-way sounded really inappropriate. But the planned format was supposed to be in person, outside, and virtually. And unfortunately, Mother Nature didn't cooperate with us tonight, or at least we thought there may be a chance. So I appreciate all of you who wanted to sit outside that lost that option, but welcome you inside. And of course, for those attending virtually, thank you for attending virtually. By the way, kudos to the staff who at the last minute, and if this is, yes, please, that's where I was going. And applause for them for putting all of this together and making last-minute adjustments. So great job to the Gulf Coast staff. So with Jay being a developer, my being a banker, we like to get down to numbers. So I'm excited to share some fantastic financial news about this evening. First, because of the overwhelmingly positive response and generosity, we have reached and exceeded our pre-event goal of $400,000. As of this morning, we're at $410,000, so thank you. Thank you very much. And we have 2 additional opportunities to profoundly help the lives before we say goodnight this evening. The first is to complete a $150,000 challenge gift to provide critical home care and other support to our community's remaining Holocaust survivors, many of whom are living below poverty. And second, if we can extend ourselves just a little bit further and offer assistance to the refugees that Gulf Coast is resettling in the region. We know that with the ongoing war in Ukraine, that Gulf Coast is going to be called upon to help those folks. Both of these opportunities provide a direct and profound way to help individuals who have been victimized by others because of their race, their ethnic background, and political beliefs. But first, I'd like to introduce a friend from Albert Enterprises who will be assisting us tonight. For those who are at the free clinic, know we're in for a treat, but welcome Joe Jervin, who is going to brief us for what's in store for the rest of the night. Joe, do you want to take stage? Everyone take your notes.
Owen and Jay, thank you. What an honor to be gathered here with you this evening. We appreciate all of you joining us on this special, special night. And we want to support, of course, the incredible work that Gulf Coast JFCS does throughout our community. I want to let you know that our raffle is ongoing. We have a trip to Tuscany, a week-long stay at Casa Amore. It is going to be an unbelievable vacation for someone. Tickets are only $20 each, 6 for $100, so that's how you can get involved before our live auction. As for the live auction, are you ready for this? We're going to start with some rare wine, sold out of production. It's a Pride Mountain Vineyard Vertical Vintner Select Reserve Merlot and Cab from 2016, 17, and 18. From there, we're going to take one of your children or another youngster in your life to an IMG sports camp. You'll have your option of which sports to choose for an entire week. Great opportunity for your little ones. Okay, we're back to the wine now. We've got a gourmet wine dinner hosted by Julie and Scott Clavins, along with Vic and Skip Tileman. That is going to be an unbelievable gastronomic experience. And then you could call it our grand finale, a South Africa photo safari for two. That's going to be an adventure. We're going to see you in a few minutes for all of that. Jay and Owen, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Joe. In a few minutes, we'll be recognizing our sponsors, our ambassadors and hosts, and dignitaries. But first, I'd like to ask Rabbi Jen Mangold from Temple Beth El to come to the podium for our opening prayer. Rabbi Mangold.
Good evening. Thank you, God, for bringing us together for such a joyful, inspiring occasion. What a blessing it is to gather in celebration of individuals who dedicate their passion, their heart, and their spirit toward making a difference in our community. God, we express tremendous gratitude for all of the heroes here tonight who spend their lives serving and uplifting those in need. We are truly thankful for all the generous souls who support such a holy mission, making this work possible through their leadership and philanthropy. May all those who protect the vulnerable, empower individuals, and strengthen families feel appreciated for the bright light that they bring. May they know the value and the importance of their work. Tonight, may we reflect on the Jewish values of generosity, compassion, and loving kindness. May we be inspired to act with loving hearts, treating every individual as B'Tselem Elohim, created in your image. As we lift up the stories of those exemplifying our core values, please inspire us to support our community, finding new and meaningful ways to get involved. Please help us to understand that to heal the world, we need to support one another, holding each other's hands through life's toughest storms. As Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel taught, our immediate concern must be with justice and compassion in life here and now, with human dignity, welfare, and security. May our gathering tonight motivate each of us to do the holy work that you know that we are capable of doing as we treat every individual with respect. Tonight, may we take pride in the incredibly holy work that's already being done, and may we be energized to keep it going for generations to come. God, as we gather as a holy community, we also take this opportunity to pray for peace in all the world, and especially during times of war, we pray for peace for the people of Ukraine, who we hold in our hearts. Please, God, help us to be your partner in creation as we answer that call to sacred living and build a world overflowing with harmony, goodness, and peace for every individual. And we say together, Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Mangold. We also want to acknowledge several other local rabbis with us here tonight. Rabbi Gary Klein, Rabbi Emeritus at Temple Ahavat Shalom, who served on the board of Gulf Coast for many years with us. Rabbi Philip Weintraub from Congregation B'nai Israel in St. Pete, and Rabbi Joshua Lobel from Temple B'nai Israel in Clearwater. Welcome, all of you. I think you all are already starting to eat your salads, and we're going to continue to serve dinner as we work through our presentation so that we can finish at 9, as we always promise you. So please don't hesitate to eat. Just try and do so as quietly as you can. While you're eating, I also want to recognize several of our elected representatives who are also with us tonight. Feel free to stand and wave. I'm going to start with State Senator Ed Hooper. St. Petersburg City Council Chair Gina Driscoll, thank you for being with us, Gina. St. Petersburg Council members Ed Montanari and Lisette Hanowitz. Pinellas County Commissioner Dave Eggers. And recently retired St. Petersburg Mayor Rick Kreisman. Always nice to see you, Mayor. I'm also going to do a shout out to the inimitable Chris Steinacher, the President and CEO of the St. Pete Chamber of Commerce. And finally, I want to express special thanks to our presenting sponsors, Debbie and Brent Sembler. And I'd like to ask my old friend Brent to come up and say a few words to help us kick off this evening's program.
Good evening. Very good. My lovely wife, Debbie, and I would also like to join everyone in welcoming you here tonight. I toyed with this, but I'm going to deliver it. It's great to see your faces at Faces. Can I just say that? I agree. First, let me congratulate our honorees tonight. I can't see where you are, so just do it by applause. Chief Anthony Holloway, congratulations. Congratulations. My mentor, Bill and Sally Israel, I can't see you. Thank you for your many decades of service. You precede Debbie and I at the agencies, so really, you do a great job. And Debbie and I are in our 4th decade of involvement with Gulf Coast. We got involved with Gulf Coast when we kind of came to understand the need for this agency and its programs in our community. I don't want to go too much further without thanking first Sandra. I can't see where you are, but you're doing a great job. Your staff, there you are. I'm going to congratulate your management team, your board chair, all your board members, and of course your event chairs. Jay, I don't know where you disappeared to, but congratulations. What an event tonight. My goodness, yeah. This agency is one of the largest agencies of its kind in the country. It's an industry leader, and it's in our community. So, Sandra, thank you for that. So feel good about being here tonight. You're helping to make a difference in thousands of lives of people in our community. So hope to see you next year. Hope to see your faces at Faces next year. Thank you.
So Debbie and Brent, thank you for your generosity as well as the rest of the Sembler family. So it's not lost on everybody, your commitment to this organization and to this community. So thank you. And none of this would be possible without the generosity and support of some very important people, and that's all of you in this room, as well as these folks. And I believe we're going to show some names on the screen here. But would like to thank the Ambassador Cabinet, the top-level givers, and those are donors of $5,000, plus our sponsors, both business and individual this evening. The Tree of Life Circle, and this is the $1,000 annual contribution from individuals or family foundations. And all support is meaningful, but at this level or higher, it really helps mobilize the resource that Gulf Coast does need. Please reference in your program for the names of the full list of tonight's sponsors. And so next, I would like to introduce a woman who doesn't really require an introduction, but Gulf Coast JFCS CEO, the great and powerful Dr. Sandra Bram. Sandra?
Great and powerful, huh? We'll see how that plays in the next meeting. It is so great to be together again with so many friends, so much love for Gulf Coast JFCS. Last week, I celebrated 6 years as president and CEO. This agency, our employees, the individuals and families we support, and our donors and volunteers continue to inspire me. My heart is full tonight, and I am grateful for your support and trust. I'm also grateful for a wonderful husband, Eric Bram, who lifts my spirit every day and encourages me to go big or go home. So tonight, we're going big. This is our largest event since we reframed faces some years ago, and I thank you for your support. Thanks, Owen and Jay. Jay is a great leader and has made a difference nationally as a founding board member of the Network of Jewish Human Service Agencies. And Owen, a friend, leader, and all-around great guy who sees a need and steps in to help. There are so many ways to make a difference. Thanks for choosing Gulf Coast JFCS. There are so many special people in the audience today, but I want to also note just a couple more friends who have been huge supporters and who are here with us tonight. Lorna Taylor, my special guest. Thank you, Lorna, for your support. Brian Auld of the Tampa Bay Rays, thank you for your support. I have a couple of things to do. One is to recognize an awesome board. Under the leadership of Eric Fader, our chair, who could not be with us this evening. Our vice chair, Elizabeth Samuelson, has stepped in, and she is doing a phenomenal job. Members of the board, yes, give her a hand. Members of the board are wearing their name tags, but I ask them to stand. Our board members are thoughtful and forward-looking. They're strategic and supportive. We staff do the work on the front lines and behind the scenes, but it is our board members, friends, and partners, our donors, who make this work possible. Thank you to all of our board members. I love you. You have been great partners and friends. Our emeritus trustees are also a very special group of people who are with us tonight. They are adorned with their black, see, I got black on the brain, with blue and white. They are adorned with blue and white honor cords, and you will see them throughout the evening. I want to recognize all of our emeritus trustees. These are folks who served years on our board faithfully and who ended their terms and continue to support the agency. Thank you to our emeritus trustees. I need to give you a little bit of history, but before this, I'm gonna ask a special friend to make his way to the stage, Senator Ed Hooper. While he's making his way to the stage, on July 1st, 2017, the CEO of Gulf Coast JFCS, Michael Bernstein of blessed memory, and then chair of the board, Myron Mensch, had a meeting. Myron explained that he had been asked to be a pro bono attorney for a gentleman who risked going to jail because he could not afford to pay his child support even though he really wanted to. Myron brought it to Michael as it made no sense to send a guy to jail when he's wanting to help but just couldn't find a job. They approached our legislators who made the case in 1997 with an allocation of $1.4 million. The non-custodial parent employment program was born. The non-custodial parent employment program was nationally recognized as a promising practice by the Administration of Children and Families in Washington, D.C. in 2013. On July 1 of this year, the program will celebrate its 25th birthday. Since its beginning, we have supported more than 23,000 parents who have supported more than 60,000 children, and for every $1 invested, $4 is returned to the state for supporting children. Brent Sembler has been a long time champion of this program and has been instrumental in advocating for its continuation, partnering with our lobbyist, Mark Anderson, who is also with us tonight. Please allow me a point of privilege as I need to recognize a few folks. Senator Ed Hooper, can you join me on stage? Brent and Mark, will you stand wherever you are? Brent Sembler and Mark Anderson. This year, as we do every year, the program has grown. We sought $500,000 in increased funding from the Florida legislature to support the growing demand for the program and growth in counties served, including Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Hernando County, which was added 2 years ago. I am pleased to share publicly, for the first time, that not only did Senator Hooper champion our request for additional funding, he also championed and led an effort to expand these efforts statewide. Just 2 weeks ago, the Florida legislature approved a new bill to expand the non-custodial parent employment program statewide with a $7.1 million recurring allocation. This would not have been possible. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Mark. This would not have been possible without your leadership, Senator, and I just want to thank you and just give you a second to have a few remarks.
Now, your homework is to call the governor and tell him not to veto that. That's the most important. Look, some years ago, meeting with Brent and Debbie Sembler and working with Mark and his team in Tallahassee, they convinced me this was of the utmost importance. And to my colleagues, most of them have no clue what this program does. And if you go visit one of these programs where the recipients that get this knowledge and training and help give their testimony, 7.1 million would be 71 million, because that's the difference it makes in people's lives. And whatever time I have left in the Florida Senate, I will be your advocate, your hero, your leader. I will strong arm if necessary, because I don't ever do anything that Brent tells me that I should not do. And in closing, I'll say this. It still baffles me that the city of Clearwater let Chief Holloway get away. Rick Kreisman, shame on you for stealing our chief. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you to the incredible Sembler family. Ambassador Mail, thank you for being here. So sorry for your loss. So we are here to uplift lives, and we are uplifting lives in some 40 Florida counties, and the entire world has been gripped by the war in Ukraine. And as of yesterday, UNICEF notes that more than 4.1 million refugees have fled Ukraine. We anticipate supporting an estimated 100 right here in the Tampa Bay area. It could be more or less. Also, We have already worked to resettle some 250 Afghan refugees in the Tampa Bay region this year to date. Thanks to so many who have helped us to establish homes and rentals for refugees, helping us to achieve our values of tikkun olam and welcoming the stranger. Now it's my distinct honor to welcome and to introduce to the podium and to introduce to you Barbara Starenzis, who will present the second Barbara G. Starenzis Distinguished Service Award. Barbara is an emeritus trustee who served honorably on the board since July of 2004 under the leadership of its founding CEO, Michael Bernstein. For the next 15 years, Barbara served as one of our most engaged volunteers since the agency's inception. Barbara's committee service included finance, trustees, governance, the annual gala, development, and the CEO search committee. As a member of the board executive committee, Barbara's service included terms as secretary, chair-elect, and board chair and acting CEO. In addition to her board roles, Barbara provided direct support as a program volunteer, providing substantial assistance to help young women and families in the agency's Woman-to-Woman program, Jewish Family Services, and Refugee Resettlement. In 2018, 2019, and 21, Barbara also served as co-chair of our signature fundraiser and annual Faces Gala. And if that's not enough, come on up so we can lay eyes on you, Barbara. She was instrumental in leading the effort to update the agency's signature Faces book, which highlights our programs, clients, and volunteers. Faces builds on the breathtaking photography of Sonia Raymond, and the table book is utilized throughout the region, given as a special gift to persons who have provided high-level support for our programs and others who give at the $1,000 level annually, joining other major donors who are new to our Tree of Life Circle. Our board inducted Barbara as an emeritus trustee in June 2019, and she continues to give her time, talent, treasures, and her heart. She loves Gulf Coast, and I get emotional just thinking about her love for this agency. Barbara, thank you for all you do, and thank you.
Thank you, Sandra, for your very kind words. It is a great honor to share this evening with honorees Tony Holloway, the inspiring Gulf Coast heroes, Fawn Hunt from the Alternate Family Placement Program, and Vera Rafanolich from the Holocaust Program, the Call Program, and my longtime friends and mentors, Bill and Sally Israel. Bill and Sally Israel had been part of the Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Community Services for more than 40 years. After retiring from Honeywell more than 20 years ago, Bill and Sally decided that retirement for them would be an opportunity to give back to their community. So began a long, meaningful journey during which they both donated time, talent, and treasure to a variety of organizations throughout the community to help others. Bill was recruited as one of Gulf Coast's first board members, serving for 36 years. Bill was the longest-serving board member in the agency's history. During his tenure, Gulf Coast has grown from its inception in '74 as a Jewish social service agency that was housed in a trailer with an executive director, a social worker, and a part-time secretary, to Gulf Coast 2022, one of the largest Jewish family service agencies in the United States with more than 500 employees serving more than 30,000 people in more than 40 Florida counties with a budget that exceeds $30 million. This incredible trajectory would not have been possible without the guidance, commitment, and expertise that Bill Israel brought to the table. Bill has served as Vice President and Treasurer of Gulf Coast. He has chaired and served on numerous committees, including the original Jewish-Russian Resettlement Committee in the late 90s, the Finance Committee, Strategic Planning, Bylaws, and several search committees. From 2000 until last year, Bill co-chaired the agency's Jewish Family Service Advisory Council, which is a committee with members from all of the Jewish organizations, temples, and synagogues. Bill Israel has always been willing to help staff and lay leadership with his thoughtful and wise advice. Sally's many charitable endeavors have benefited Gulf Coast as well as numerous other organizations throughout Tampa Bay. As a member of the St. Pete League of Women Voters, Sally has been a supporter of voting rights and voter registration. As a member of the Pinellas County Fire Task Force, she helped to ensure more equal fees for fire protection for unincorporated Pinellas County. Sally was a co-founder of the Genealogical Society of Tampa Bay, and in 2019, Sally was honored as a Woman of Distinction by the Jewish Federation. In 2021, Bill and Sally Israel were recognized for their volunteer work and their community dedication in Tampa Bay and awarded the Community Hero Award by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Israels were brought up in the Jewish tradition of tzedakah, being charitable, helping others, showing kindness, and giving with compassion to those in need. This tradition of tzedakah is the culture that Bill and Sally share. Their volunteerism stems from the same concept on a much broader scale. When asked why volunteering is so important, Bill and Sally replied, "We are engaged and try new things, and we think better our world, not just of ourselves. We all share this planet, and collectively, the human race does better if we work to make life better." 7 years ago, Bill and Sally decided to advance a portion of their bequest to Gulf Coast, creating an endowment for the food pantry that is called the William and Sally Israel Food Pantry. This gift has ensured Gulf Coast's ability as an agency to continue to serve clients with food insecurity by providing food, household items, and gift cards to more than 2,500 individuals annually. Last year, at the FACES event, I was honored by the establishment of the Barbara Grossman Sterensis Distinguished Service Award. The award was established to honor and recognize deserving volunteers who have demonstrated their commitment to Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Community Services by years of board and committee service, volunteering and direct support of agency programs, and who have demonstrated actions in support of the well-being of agency staff. Tonight, it is my honor and my privilege to present the first Barbara Grossman Sterensis Distinguished Service Award to Bill and Sally Israel.
Barbara, you overdid it a little bit. Thank you for this honor. Sally and I are thrilled and humbled to receive the Barbara J. Sterensis Distinguished Service Award. This award is appropriately named because Barbara Sterensis is a model of what distinguished service is all about. When I served on the Gulf Coast JFCS board with Barbara, there was no task that went undone, no need that was not filled, and no emergency that was not properly acted upon, because Barbara was there to do it or see that it was done. Service is her middle name. Sally and I are honored to receive the Barbara J. Sterensis Distinguished Service Award. Thank you. When I enlisted in military service long, long ago, I knew exactly when my enlistment would end. When I enlisted in the service of Gulf Coast Jewish Family Services in 1979, I didn't know there was no end to it. 43 years later, Gulf Coast is still important to Sally and to me, and I remain an emeritus member of both the Gulf Coast Board and the JFS Advisory Council. When you get to be my age, you learn what emeritus is all about. You get to hang around and cheer on all the good things that are happening. You don't have to do it yourself anymore. Life is more leisurely out here in the emeritus pasture. When I retired from the Gulf Coast Board after 36 years, Sally and I decided to, in the spirit of tzedakah, to endow the food pantry, as you just heard. We couldn't think of a more fundamental need than ensuring that no one goes hungry. We thank everyone who contributes food or money for food cards to the food pantry. During the COVID-19 isolation, the food pantry had fewer walk-ins, but it made much more use of food gift cards that can be exchanged at Publix, Walmart, or Target for fresh food that's not available at the pantry. We hope that you'll remember the food pantry the next time you honor or remember someone with a gift to Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Community Services. The spring food drive is coming up soon. That's the end of my commercial. Okay. Let me leave you with some trivia from the past. Tomorrow is the 27th anniversary of Gulf Coast's very first celebrity celebration. It happened on April 1st, 1995 at the St. Petersburg Museum of Fine Arts. The honorees were Jacqueline Jacobs, Annette Raymond, and guess who? Brent and Debbie Sidler. Brent, there's an emeritus in your future too. Just hang around. The chairs of that inaugural event were Cy and Joyce Rips, and Sally and I were proud to have been the co-chairs of the first event that we had for this. Gulf Coast has come a long way since then in its quest for Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. The staff of the agency is an inspiration too. Dr. Sandra Graham and her extraordinarily talented team are mission-driven and dedicated. My years at Gulf Coast have been a labor of love and a source of pride and personal satisfaction. Sally has been my quiet partner, she's quiet, steering me, keeping me on schedule, and handling the details. She's been a partner in whatever I do, including editing this talk to about half of what I originally wrote. You owe her some thanks for that. Thank you. Sally and I are thrilled to be honored tonight, but we are just the opening act. There are a lot of other heroes to be recognized, and the main event is honoring Chief Anthony Holloway for his Lifetime Achievement Award. Sally and I congratulate all of tonight's honorees. Thank you, Gulf Coast, for honoring Sally and me with the Barbara Sterensis Distinguished Service Award. We thank everyone for being here to support this great agency. If I had my ukulele with me, this is the time to play some exit music. Let's get on with the show.
Thank you, Barbara, Bill, and Sally, for your commitment to Gulf Coast work for so many years. Bill and Sally, you continue to be great mentors for so many of us, and now you can all see what there is to learn from Bill, including a sense of humor. As Sandra explained a few minutes ago, many of Gulf Coast programs connect to provide support for individuals with multiple needs to move forward in their lives. These might include job skills, housing assistance, child welfare, or behavioral health. It's my pleasure now to introduce the current acting chairwoman of Gulf Coast Board of Directors, Elizabeth Samuelson. Elizabeth is going to introduce to you a few of our program client honorees and heroes tonight.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Please enjoy your dinners as I'm speaking. It is such an honor to be here to present the 2022 Faces of Inspiration honorees. This is one of the highlights of the evening where we actually get to see how Gulf Coast JFCS impacts the people we serve. Tonight's honorees are thriving in their programs, and their lives have truly been uplifted. As you've heard already, our mission at Gulf Coast JFCS, inspired by Jewish values, we protect the vulnerable, empower individuals, and strengthen families. Our first honoree came to Gulf Coast JFCS when she was at her most vulnerable. After spending time in our Darlington residential treatment program, she graduated and now is continuing in our Alternative Family Center. Fawn Hunt's journey is a wonderful example of the continuity of care that Gulf Coast provides. With more than 40 programs, we do not just cover a broad spectrum of needs, but our programs are interconnected, spanning from housing, workforce development, mental health, and the well-being of children and families. Gulf Coast JFCS uplifts lives from babies to seniors. Please join me in watching Fawn Hunt's inspiring story.
It just happened out of nowhere. I started hearing voices and thinking people was out to hurt me. I was hallucinating. I don't know, my life probably would have been over because of the way I was feeling depressed and just feeling like everybody was against me. And where I was Baker acted, they gave me a referral to Darlington because I was so unstable. The Gulf Coast helped me when I got to Darlington. They helped me with the depression. I talked to the therapist about suicidal thoughts and stuff, and just the voices I was hearing. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be on the right medication and stuff to help me deal with it. I found out I was a diabetic, and they helped me, push me to exercise and eat healthy. They taught me different life skills, and they felt like I was to the point where I was ready because I had made some major changes. I started taking care of myself better, and they helped me boost my self-confidence and self-esteem. So they felt like I was ready to go to the next step, which is here with Miss Renee.
Fawn was referred to the AFP program through Darlington Residential Services in Pasco County. She was discharge ready, she'd completed all of her treatment goals, and she was looking for a more independent living setting.
I love living here with Miss Renee because she actually take her time and help us, and she even help us try to be more independent in the community. Anything that we need, any way she can help, she help.
Gulf Coast has linked her up with, of course, her caregiver where she lives now, supports within the community. She attends a day program, and she has case management services through a local provider. Her biggest goal is to be back with her kids. So that's what we work on, is her getting to where she can become independent, she can meet her own mental health needs, and then be able to meet the needs of her kids.
My biggest goal is to get my kids back, but I want to make sure that I'm 100% ready because it's a responsibility.
AFP works with individuals who have serious and persistent mental illness who are unable to live independently. What we do is we match clients up with caregivers who run adult family care homes. The caregivers help them live a more independent lifestyle, make sure they take all their medications, make sure all their needs are met, and make sure they can attend any day programs, make contact with family, and it just gives them more independence.
I'm confident and I don't have to deal with the depression and lower self-esteem anymore. Gulf Coast helped me find hope again.
Fawn Hunt, please come up with Miss Renee and join me here on stage to accept your award. Our second Faces of Inspiration honoree is an amazing example of how Gulf Coast JFCS is committed to honoring and caring for Holocaust survivors. It is often surprising to people how many Holocaust survivors live in the Tampa Bay area. Gulf Coast JFCS assists some 250 survivors in so many ways, from crucial housing and personal care that allows them to live safely and with dignity in their own homes, to just as important and critically, social support and love. Let's hear from our next honoree, Riva Rafalovich.
When began Second War?
When the World War II started. Our mother had 3 children, my sister, who was 13, I was 7, and my brother was 1 year old. My father was on the war since the war started. They took them right away. People didn't have a radio at the time, and we had no idea that Jews were being killed. My aunt was dating a guy from a regional committee of Komsomol, and he found out about Jews being killed, and he told her. That's when we decided that we have to leave. We didn't know where we were going, but because the train went to Siberia, we went to Siberia as well. When we came to Siberia, they placed us on some kind of a factory where we stayed and slept on one bed.
Несколько месяцев.
We've been in Siberia for several months, but then my father wrote to my mother that it's so cold and challenging there, so maybe you should move to Tashkent, Uzbekistan, because his sisters were there at the moment, and he said they will help us.
Ну, Ташкент.
When we lived in Tashkent, my mother and my sister were working at the factory doing bombshells, and I was studying in school and babysitting my brother.
Я помню.
I remember when I first found out that I'm Jewish. I was outside with my brother, and some boys surrounded me and my brother. When they asked me, I said, "We're not Jewish, we're Ukrainians." I was so ashamed I didn't tell them the truth, but the reason I did that because I was afraid for my brother.
А в городе на стенах.
In March 1944, we came back to Rostov, and I remember when I came to school, I saw the sign, "The city is free from Jews."
Тогда, когда я училась,
When I came to school and my teacher introduced me to everyone in the class, she also asked about my ethnicity. And I said I'm Jewish. So all the children turned to look at me with the horror in their eyes because of those signs.
это такое счастье было, в которое поверить было.
When we found out that the war was ended, we couldn't believe that.
В 92 году
In 1992, we came to the United States, me, my husband, our children and grandchildren.
Vera is an unbelievably positive person. I met Vera. She was one of my first clients when I came to Gulf Coast JFCS 7 years ago. She has always been grateful, happy, full of life.
Конечно, эта организация
Gulf Coast did so much for me. The main thing that I know that I have people who care, and if I need help, they will provide it.
Vera receives home care assistance from Gulf Coast JFCS, and we also provide for her some nutritional drinks because otherwise she wouldn't be able to eat. She drinks her food currently.
очень важно для человека.
It is so important for a human being to know that there is someone who will help you if needed.
Currently, we serve approximately 250 survivors in the 6-county area that we cover, and approximately 1/3 of those people live below the poverty level. They would not be able to afford the home care that they need or a lot of the emergency assistance that we provide for them.
Не было случая, чтобы мне не помогли.
Throughout all these years, I never had a situation when they didn't help me.
Vera, thank you so much for your inspiring story and reminding us how meaningful Gulf Coast JFCS is in your life, providing you with the security of knowing that your needs will be met, and for giving you the love and support that we all need and value. Jay and Owen, don't we want to help and get a little more to take care of our 250 Holocaust survivors who depend on us?
Well, thank you for asking that question, Elizabeth. This is the time where we're going to ask everyone here to do a little bit more. And how can we not do as much as we can now for these individuals who, as children, endured challenges we can't even imagine and persevere to live productive lives and give so much back to the world? As our video referenced, we estimate that 1 out of 3 Holocaust survivors are living today below the poverty level, making it impossible for them to afford for their ever-increasing personal care needs. Tonight, we can all do something extra for our survivors that call Tampa Bay home.
Absolutely, Jay, thank you. So tonight we'll have an opportunity to raise an additional $150,000 that, when matched by the Kavod Chef Initiative, will total $300,000. and most importantly, will allow Gulf Coast to provide an additional 2,000 hours of urgent critical home care for about 30 survivors whose current needs are not completely funded. And while we're most grateful for the large gifts to help us reach our total faster and get help on the way sooner, I want to emphasize that all gifts really do make a difference. On screen will be giving levels for the Holocaust Survivor Fund, and I'd like to welcome Joe back to the stage. So Joe's going to help us close the care gap for our treasured Holocaust survivors in our community. Joe, welcome back. There he is.
Thank you. Thank you, Owen and Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, you understand the need, and you know that we can help. So I'm going to call donation levels, starting high and working my way down. And when you hear a number at which you're comfortable making a donation to Gulf Coast JFCS, please raise your paddle and keep it held high until I call your number. Our bid spotters are around the room, hoping to also take your donations. Bid spotters, if you'd please say hello. And while we're saying hello, how about we all turn around to the back of the room and wave at the camera and say hello to our virtual guests. For our virtual guests, welcome, and you are certainly welcome to donate through your GiveSmart mobile bidding platform. Our first level this evening is $25,000, and I need you to understand the money we raise tonight will go directly to current gaps in care. This is not a projection of future need. Right now, tonight, right now, there are Holocaust survivors who are worried about things that they should not have to. Living safely at home, having enough food to eat, enough clothing to wear, being able to get to and from doctor's appointments. Who will help those folks with a gift of $25,000? Here's my first. Let me go back and get a microphone from my man Wayne so I can come out here. All right, now we're mobile. 366, thank you so very much. We are incredibly grateful for that $25,000 donation. Unbelievably grateful. Helping people right here, right now in this room tonight. Who else will join our mission with a gift of $25,000? And I want to put that in context for you. You see it on the screens. A gift of that denomination would fill the urgent care gap for 2 survivors for an entire year. One last call for $25,000 donations. Let's move to the $15,000 level. I'm now calling for $15,000 donations, and I see light sticks in the air. I don't see a paddle number yet, but there it is. Here we go. Bidder number. I like this one. I don't think you got that at check-in, did you? 403, that's 403. Thank you so very much. A $15,000 gift. We are so appreciative. Anyone else at the $15,000 level this evening? And to give you some perspective, to help you understand what that translates to, what does that mean? It means that we can take care of people. We can provide intensive dental care for 3 Holocaust survivors. We will take care of them. One more call for $15,000 gifts. We'll move now to the $10,000 level, where we can provide monthly food support for 8 Holocaust survivors for an entire year. Make a difference in those lives. $10,000 donations to Gulf Coast. Who's with us this evening? Who wants to help? There it is. Those lights are awfully bright, so forgive me for ducking down here. That is bidder number 405, that's 2 handmade bidder cards. And 405 is in at the $10,000 level. We're truly grateful. Thank you. Who else will join our mission this evening and help these treasured members of our community with a gift of $10,000? Let's move to the $5,000 level. Calling now for gifts of $5,000, and our first is from bidder 138. Thank you, 138. And now another, 119. Thank you, 119. Here's 193, 193. And now 222, number 222. That's 4. Let's have another. Let's keep that momentum building. Let us help these treasured members of our community. They have suffered enough and they need us. Where is that whistle coming from? Show me a bidder paddle. Here we go. Bidder number 103. Thank you, 103. We're truly grateful. Truly. This is wonderful. Thank you, friends, for understanding the need and understanding that you have the power in your hand with that bidder paddle to make a difference. One more call for $5,000 gifts so we can provide housing repairs for 10 Holocaust survivors. Most of us have aging family members. We know what it's like. We know when people need help because they cannot help themselves. So we are there. And please remember, I cannot say this enough, your gift will be matched. Your $5,000 right now is a $10,000 donation to Gulf Coast. And we have to get to that $150,000 match. Please help me get to that $150,000 match. One more call for $5,000 donations. Anyone, anywhere. And I understand if you need to lean over and talk to the CFO. Maybe you need to think about, what do I as an individual need to sacrifice so that I can help the greater good? And so take a moment. I don't mind awkward pauses. The $5,000 level, your chance to make a difference. Who's with us? We'll move now to the $2,500 level. I'm calling for gifts of $2,500 to Gulf Coast JFCS so we can help Holocaust survivors. And what your gift of $2,500 means is 100 hours of urgent care, filling those gaps, easing suffering, taking care of those who mean so very much to us. Here's one right now. Thank you. Bidder 276. That's 276. We are grateful. And here we go with bidder number 224. That's 224. Thank you, 224. How about another for Gulf Coast? We're calling for gifts of $2,500, and here's one over here. Thank you very much. Bidder 246. Thank you, 246. 261 is in. Thank you, 261. You're warming my heart, ladies and gentlemen. One last call for $2,500 donations. Here we are. Thank you to bidder number 137. That's 137. We're so appreciative, and thank you. And now another 265. Is that 265? Yes, it is. 265. Thank you. We're at the $2,500 level. What do you have? Come back to him. We got all night. One last call for $2,500 donations to Gulf Coast. We'll move now to the $1,000 level. I'm asking for gifts of $1,000 so that we may take care of Holocaust survivors. And here we have bidder number 421. That's 421. Thank you. Truly grateful. Thank you. And now at the back of the room here, what do we see? Keep it going, Sergio. 467. 467 is in. 454 is in. Thank you, 454. And now 446. That's 446. Look at these hands up. How about number 461? That's 461. And now two more from my new favorite table. 429, that's 429. A third, 437. 437 is next. And now, 435. Thank you, 435. Oh, folks, this is awesome. 369 is next. Thank you, 369. And now 256. 256 is in at the $1,000 level. We're providing 40 hours of urgent care with your gift tonight of $1,000. And here's one right now. Bidder 165, thank you. 165, thank you. Another 240, that's 240. 240 is in. Oh, I got goosebumps, folks. Here's another. 110, thank you. 110. And another. What do we have here? Besides the smallest bidder numbers in auction history. Hold on. 204. Thank you, 204. They told me contacts would help me see better. They only told me half the story. Here we are, where we are. Hold on one second, I'm coming that way. What do we got? 322. Thank you, 322. Thank you, thank you. We're asking for $1,000 donations. And I found the speaker again. My apologies. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what's happening in Ukraine right now. Those atrocities sadly produce an all too familiar feeling. It is our desire and it is our responsibility to help as much as we possibly can. Who will help us tonight? Help us take care of our Holocaust survivors. They mean so much to us. Last call for $1,000 donations. We'll move now to the $500 level, so we can provide a medical alert system for a survivor. But remember, we have a match, so we're actually helping two survivors. Here's a $500 gift from bidder number 197. Thank you, 197. And now, 311. Thank you, 311. And thank you to 452. 452 is in. 447. Thank you, 447. 512 is next. 512. Listen to those whistles. 451 is next. 451 or... Hold on, this is one of my favorite tricks. Typically, I'm the one who bids with somebody else's paddle, but we've got shenanigans back here. So if you'll give us just a moment, we'll sort this all out. I know, get a good laugh, it's fun. This is really your bidder number? I'm gonna need somebody to get a blood sample over here. If we could have someone just to real quick get some contact information. We believe this to be bidder 457, and you seem like the trustable sort. Where's Bill? Has anyone seen Bill? What do we have? Thank you. Bidder 417, thank you, thank you. And now 341, 341 is in, as is 279. Thank you, 279. Look at this table of three. 212, that's 212. 216, it's 216. And 217, 217. Now 219. 219 is next. 214 is in. 214. 221. 221. And now we're doing them in pencil? I mean, my goodness. I don't blame you. 129 is in. Thank you, 129. And thank you to 209, 209. Oh, friends, 210 is in, 210, and 260. 260 is next. Now it's 151, 151. How about 117? 117 is in, thank you. Okay, over here, who do we have? We have 310, thank you, 310. Oh, at the back of the room now. Bidder 506, thank you, 506. Thank you to 465, 465. 358, 358. These are all $500 donations, all matched to be $1,000 gifts. Excuse me, gentlemen. Pardon me. Chicken looks good. 363 is next. Thank you, 363. One more call for $500 donations. We move now to the $250 level. I'm asking for gifts of $250. You can't talk unless you've already donated. That's the rule. Here we are, 188, that's 188, thank you. And 325, 325, thank you. And now back here, what do we have? 611, thank you, 611. Thank you to 202, we're grateful, 202. You do get an arm workout, don't you? How about 262, 262? Back of the room, who do you have, Serge? 456, thank you, 456. And thank you, 463. We're grateful, 463, thank you. And now over here. 315, 315, that's 315, and thank you. Over here. Hello, and thank you to bidder 359, 359. Avoid the speaker, avoid the speaker. I wish I could see you, but, oh, pardon me. We have bidder number 456, thank you, 456. And now, 263, thank you, 263. And 228, it's 228 next. We're at the $250 level. Each donation matched to be a $500 donation to Gulf Coast JFCS. And here we are. Next up, bidder 102, thank you, 102. And who do you have back here? 450, thank you, 450. One last call for $250 gifts, each matched to be a $500 donation. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention, please, we have reached our final giving level. We're now at the $100 level, and we can provide 1 month to someone who is food insecure with your donation tonight, and that's what we've just done. Bidder number 300, thank you. Thank you, 300, for making a difference. 169, you have 2, thank you, 169. Oh, they're coming fast and furious now. 185, that's 185. And 187, thank you, 187, we're grateful. 323 is next, thank you, 323. Thank you to 449, we are grateful, 449. 314, thank you, 314. 436 is next, 436. Look at all these paddles in the air. Oh, folks, this is wonderful. We are helping people tonight. Thank you, thank you. 401, that's 401. And 402, it's 402. And now 394, 394. Here's a 380, 380 is in, and thank you. How about 242 and 244? That's 242 and 244. We're back here. What do we have? 516, that's 516. And now 498, thank you, 498. Karen, who do you have up here? 502 now, 502. Oh, this is awesome. 199, 199. How about 198? That's 198. 200, 200. 633, that's 633. 443, thank you, 443. And now 195, thank you, 195. And thank you to 334, 334. Now 130, 130 is in. Did we get everyone? No, we didn't. Who's left? 237, thank you, 237. We are at, just for this segment of the program, if I may have your attention, please, to this moment in time, we are at, for the Holocaust Survivor Fund, $99,500. That's right. But you know what would make it even better? A $500 gift to bring us to an even 100 grand. How about a $500 gift to cap this night? There it is. Thank you to bidder number 370. That's 370. Now, you know what would make this night extra special? If we could raise another $50,000 and get every bit of that $150,000 match. So how about a $50,000 donor? What? Hannah has some information. $5,000 from an online donor. Yes. Woo. We are now $45,000 from squeezing out every bit of that match. Help us get there. If you are inspired, if you haven't had a chance to make a gift, I'll let you choose the denomination. You put your paddle in the air and you tell me. We're down to 45,000 left. So no takers at 50, but maybe a 45? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your generosity. We are so grateful for your donations. And to this moment in time, we are at $105,000 in this segment alone. You have changed lives. If you did not hear your number called tonight, you are welcome to make a donation of any denomination on our GiveSmart mobile bidding platform. Of course, you're always welcome to support our mission at gulfcoastjfcs.org. If I could have your attention just for a moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. This is very important. I need everybody, if you would, to give me your undivided attention. Shh. I mentioned Ukraine a few moments ago. Gulf Coast JFCS, as you all well know, is committed to helping refugees from around the world. We anticipate dozens, if not hundreds, of Ukrainian refugees will come settle in our area, and they will need our help. For those who wish to support that urgent need, you may do so on your GiveSmart mobile bidding platform. And with that, it's time for our live auction. Are you ready? No. Are you ready? That's more like it. If we're going to have a great auction, we need great bid spotters. You have seen them around the room. If you want to place a bid, you get their attention, you get my attention, you get your paddles in the air, and let's raise some more money. That's your cue, Wayne. Yes, we do love our wine, don't we? Our first live auction package features wine you cannot buy anymore unless you're attending Faces of Inspiration. Our thanks to David and Elizabeth Samuelson for donating this flight of wine from Pride Mountain Vineyards. There are 6 bottles. They are in this cardboard box to my right. It's a vertical of the Vintners Select Reserve Merlot 2016, 17, and 18, along with a vertical of the Vintners Select Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon 2016, 17, 18. Again, these particular bottles are no longer available. We'll open the bidding for Gulf Coast JFCS at just $500. Paddles in the air if you want to take this wine home. You don't have a paddle number, but I'm going to trust that that's a $500 bid, and now $600. $500 here, $600 where? I'm at $500 right here in the middle of the room and looking for a $600 bid for 6 bottles of wine. $600 now, $700 to you, $700 to all of you. We're at $600 right here. $700 where? It's $600 going once and $600 going twice. Wait a minute, $700. There's 7 and now 8. 7 and now 8 where? 800 now 9, 800 there, 900 where? 800 right here, how about a 9? 900 now 1,000. 1,000 to you, 1,000 all of you. 900 here, 1,000, yes, and now 1,100. Oh, Vanna. Oh, Susan. We're at 1,000 and looking for 1,100. 1,100, yes? No. 1,100, yes, yes, and now 12. 12 and now 13. 13, 14. 15 now. 16. 17. 18, $2,000, and $2,100 to you. 2,000 going once, and 2,000 going twice. We're done, you won! Bidder number 122, and thank you from Gulf Coast JFCS.
They're playing
Hey, but whether it's basketball or baseball, golf, soccer, tennis, or one of 5 other sports, we have a week-long youth camp at the world-renowned IMG Sports Academy in Bradenton. These camps are available year-round for ages 10 to 18, in the summer for ages 8 to 18. Again, you can pick any one of 9 sports, boys, girls, or co-ed, depending on your choice. Help your child take the next step in their athletic development, or just give them a fun week away from home. It's yours for just $1,250, $1,250 for Gulf Coast JFCS. How about $1,250 to go to a camp worth nearly $3,000? $1,250 is our opening bid. Yes, and now $1,500, $1,250 there, $1,500 now. I saw a paddle in the air, but I think it was just a wave goodbye. Don't leave us yet. We're at $1,250 and looking for 15. Who's in at $1,500 for Gulf Coast? One time, someone anywhere, which buy one time. $1,250 going once. There's $1,500 and now $1,750. $1,500 right here, $1,750 to the crowd. Who's in at $1,750 or we close it out right here at $1,500? We're $1,500 once. And we're $1,500 twice. That was your whistle. We're done and you won. Bidder number 265. $1,500 and thank you from Gulf Coast JFCS.
And now we invite you to relax. Let us pull up a chair as the dining room proudly presents your dinner.
It's a gourmet wine dinner for 10, hosted by Julie and Scott Clavins, along with Vicky and Skip Tileman. You will experience small plate cuisine, creatively prepared and expertly paired with the award-winning wines of Halleck Vineyard in Sonoma County. In fact, Ross Halleck himself will travel from Northern California to Florida just for this special occasion. He'll teach you about the wines, he'll tell you the stories behind them and their connection with the delicious food you'll be eating. As I mentioned earlier in the evening, this is sure to be a gastronomic experience. Wayne, if you'd bring the music down just a little bit, please. Your exquisite evening will take place at the Tileman's lovely bayfront home on Snell Island. Fair to say both of our host couples know a thing or two about food and fine dining, wouldn't you say? Let's break bread for just $1,000. $1,000 for dinner. Here's $1,000 and now $1,250. $1,000 here, $1,250 where? $1,000 there, $1,250. Well, I don't want to take any more money from you yet, but I will. $1,250 and now $1,500. Oh, stop it, folks. Come on. I know you're at $1,250, but we're trying to get $1,500. Anyone, anywhere at $1,500. Come on, folks. Let's have a nice meal. Let's have some delicious wine. Here we are, $1,500 and now $1,750. I'm back. $1,750 and now $2,000. $1,750 here, $2,000 where? $2,000 to you. $2,000 and now $2,250. $2,250 and now $2,500. $2,750. $2,750 maybe? $2,500 yes? $2,500 going once. This is a steal. $2,500 going twice. Did I mention it's a steal? Come on, someone get in at $2,750 or we're done. You won. Bidder number 224. That's 224. $2,500. And thank you from Gulf Coast JFCS.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Friends, pack your bags for a 5-day, 5-night South Africa photo safari for two. You're going to have a chance to see giraffes and zebras, rhinos and elephants, cheetahs, leopards, hippo, buffalo, and so many other majestic creatures. This experience includes your lodging in a luxury chalet, gourmet meals with alcohol, plus daily game viewing drives and full-service concierge to help you plan every single detail of your adventure. It's a trip you'll never forget, and it's yours for just $5,000. $5,000 to go to South Africa. An unbelievable experience. Who's in at $5,000? One time for JFCS. Come on, folks. What do you say to $5,000 for a South Africa photo safari that you will never forget? $5,000 anyone, anywhere. Treat yourself and take care of our Holocaust survivors. This is your opportunity. $5,000. Okay, we'll do what we call a Dutch auction. We'll go backwards. $4,500. $4,500 is our next bid. Then one final offer. I'm willing to give away this trip that is valued at $9,000 for just $4,000. A paddle in the air for Gulf Coast JFCS. If you want to purchase this trip for $4,000, we only have one. All right, we'll pass on that item. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please limit your conversations as we introduce, or welcome back to the stage, I should say, our CEO, Dr. Sandra Bram.
Thank you all so very, very much for your generosity. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the moment that we have been leading up to honor a leader that knows how to lead, that is visionary, that is humble, someone who loves his community, who loves people, who loves humanity. Someone who knows how to make tough decisions and how to stand in the gap for a friend in need. You'll hear more about our honoree, Chief Anthony Holloway, in a moment. But first, let me introduce you to the CALL program, which is taking St. Petersburg by storm. Thank you to the visionary leaders to the St. Petersburg City Council, to former mayor, thank you so much for envisioning and going with this and giving it an opportunity. It is making a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like for you to watch our call video.
Thousands of nonviolent, non-criminal calls needing behavioral health services come through 911 channels every day. Oftentimes, law enforcement is asked to respond to these calls, and really and truly what the community is requesting is a behavioral response. They need connection to social services and other supports in the community.
When we developed the call program, we start looking about what would the officer really bring into the mental crisis. So that officer is coming there, he or she's had 40 hours of training, they're bringing a taser, they're bringing a gun, and they're bringing their handcuffs, but they're not bringing a solution. The call program does the opposite of that. It brings a healthcare professional, or what we call here, a navigator. They get a chance to sit down and talk to that person that's going through a mental crisis. They need help. They don't need to be incarcerated. They need someone to help them listen to what's going on and then to help them navigate their way through that crisis so they can get care.
The Community Assistance and Life Liaison Program frees up law enforcement to do what they're meant to do, which is respond to criminal activity.
The calls come in through 911. The dispatcher will screen the call to make sure that the call is non-criminal or non-violent in nature. And then that's when it's decided that it gets sent to the call team. Once they're there, they will assess the individual for whatever needs they may have and connect them to appropriate services.
This program is innovative in nature. I think sometimes the community is hesitant because we're sending social workers to 911 calls, when in reality, we're already responding to those types of calls. We're actively in those homes providing supports this very day.
I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and PTSD, and I was recovering from substance use disorder. I had police intervene with my mental health crises, and I felt a stigma and I felt like a criminal in a lot of ways when I was taken in to the treatment centers by a police officer. It was traumatizing and scary to be feeling like a criminal when I was in crisis.
When we respond, it can be a lot less traumatic than when officers respond. When officers respond, they're there with the notion of either Baker acting somebody or arresting somebody. When call responds, we're there to get to know the person as a human and get to see past why our initial call is and what we can do to help them.
When the call program showed up, it was 2 women. I was a lot more comfortable and receptive to what they were telling me and the options that they gave me. And the call program made sure that I had resources to go to, made sure that I got to them, was continuously checking in while I was at the treatment center. And I felt like it was a game changer for my recovery.
Going forward, call will stay involved with Abby. We'll continue to check on her, make sure that she's doing okay, be there for her support if she ever needs anything, and just encourage her to keep going on the path that she's on.
My daughter was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. She wasn't taking her medication. I couldn't do nothing with her. I couldn't manage. I couldn't help her. Only thing I could do was talk to her. I would call the call team, and they would come out. And they would recommend, what to do.
When we arrived, she was in a very chaotic state and her family was at a loss and scared. Now that we've been interacting with her family, she's in a much better state and she is medication compliant.
Here we are, we're at a call. So imagine all these police officers are there. This man is talking about hurting himself and hurting others. And here we are, we're preparing how to tactically take this person down without hurting the person. And a navigator comes there, gets out of his car, and starts talking to the person, and he takes that person to the hospital. And the best part about it is, today, I have not heard from this gentleman. So that gentleman got the help that he needed without having to be tased, without having to be handcuffed. He got some dignity for helping him through the crisis that he was going through.
When I think about the future of the CALL program, I see us growing in nature, expanding our resources that we currently have, and providing services in more areas.
I'm extremely grateful that the CALL program exists in St. Pete because as somebody that experiences mental health crises that might have one in the future, I know that I'm safe, and I know that people that are equipped to deal with my mental health issues will be responding to me, and I hope that programs like this can spread across the country so that other people like me can feel the same way.
At this time, I'd like to call up our Chief Operations Officer, Terry Ballier, to join me on stage. Terry, please join me. Now, I am certain that Chief Holloway is a very tough guy. I've only known him for 6 years, and I just kind of see him as this lovable teddy bear. I'm sorry, Chief. You're just like the most kind, generous, awesome person that I've ever met in the police force. So I know that you really are tough, but I do want to just acknowledge how kind he is, how thoughtful he is. And Terry and Chief worked together envisioning this CALL program with Megan and city leaders to design it to be the program that it is. And so I want to give her the honor of introducing Chief's video.
So I didn't know I was supposed to come up here tonight. So it's my pleasure. Chief Holloway is a friend, a mentor, and a strong colleague, and I would not be more honored than standing up here tonight than to introduce Chief Holloway and the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I've known Chief Holloway for over a decade. I know that when we started the CALL program, he would meet with all the CALL employees as well as his officers and debrief every single day so he knew what was going on within his community, so he knew what was going on within his officers and the Community Assistance Life Liaison program. He wanted to be in the know. He walked the walk.
When I was being raised, the police officer in my community, the school resource officer that was in my school, I saw what they did for me. And after I got into this profession, I go like, you know what? I can do the same thing that they did for me and help someone else.
Chief Holloway served as a board member for Gulf Coast JFCS and currently serves as an emeritus trustee. And he acts as a role model to other board members, existing board members. He's not only a colleague of mine, he's a friend, a mentor, and an all-around great human being.
When we were at a point during a meeting where we didn't know where to go about a certain issue, he would, in a very gentle and respectful way, share with us his view, but it was clear that what he was sharing was based upon what he heard during the course of that meeting or during the course of previous meetings. He gave us so much guidance and counsel. He was one of the sages, one of the wise men to whom we looked for guidance.
If you looked at my bio, you would see I'm either on this committee or chairing that committee. So it's really about just giving back to the community. I tell everybody I'm a sucker for kids, and they know that, because if you tell me about helping a kid, I'm like, okay, sign me up. How do I do it, and what do we need to do? And if you ask me about how we build better relationships between the police department community, again, I'm going to ask you, sign me up. What do we need to do, and how do we need to move this ball forward?
I had him speak to our 9th grade confirmation class and to our senior youth group, our supplemental program for kids in 9th through 12th grades. And he always spoke in an empathetic, caring, sensitive, but realistic way. He speaks with altruism. He feels that anything he says should only be said if it contributes to improving someone else's life and creating a better community.
The best time I really enjoy this job is when I get a parent or even someone like Rabbi Klein give me a call and say, hey, can you pick the phone and can you call these parents or call this child and talk to the child? To me, that hits home because they're not asking me to come and arrest someone. They're asking me if I can come help someone, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Chief Holloway is a phenomenal leader. He really takes in everyone's input before making a decision.
I look at this as almost like a relay race. As if you ever watch a track before, this baton, being able to just pass that baton to the next person, move over to the side, and let that person continue building on the foundation that we have here now. Continue to build relationships in the community. If 10 years from now, 15 years from now, if that's what we have going on, you know what? I'll say I did my job.
For all of Chief Holloway's outstanding characteristics, the way he leads, his compassion, his innate ability to communicate, and so many more reasons, is exactly why we want to honor him for the Gulf Coast JFCS Lifetime Achievement Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming to the stage
Chief Holloway and our Lifetime Achievement Award.
I know it's late, so I'll make sure I'm quick. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for this award. When Terry gave me a call, she and I talk probably weekly about the call program. It's either, hey, can you have a second, call me, we go back and forth. So every time she says, call me, I make sure I grab all the call paperwork in front of me because I know she's going to be asking me some question about what's going on with the call program. But on this date, she called me and told me about I won this award, and I said, you sure you have the right person? Because I know all the people that are involved in this, so I just want to say thank you for that call. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate this occasion. I'm so honored to have my idea recognized in the way Gulf Coast Jewish Family Service and Community Service. Many hours went into this community assistant and life liaison call program. It meant so much to me that it worked, and the passion that is shown throughout the city and throughout the nation and now international, it says a lot. This accomplishment is something that wasn't done alone, and many other people deserve to be recognized for this award. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Sandra Brom, Terry Ballier, Assistant Chief Gilliam, he couldn't be here tonight. Then I'm gonna ask my staff to stand up. Major Hubbard, Lieutenant Coyman, my secret weapon, and she knows who she is. If you try to take Megan away from me, I will hurt you. You know, any coach or any CEO, you can come up with any plan you want to come up with. You can come up with any idea, but unless you have those people like that to execute it, it will never happen. So I want to thank them for that. The next group I'd like to thank is the former Mayor, Rick Kreisman. I don't know if he's still here or not. Now, when I came to him with this idea, he kind of looked at me kind of funny, and he says, okay, I think we can make this work. And that's the type of boss that he sat down, we went through it, and we moved forward with it. Then our city council, thank you very much for finding the funding for this program. And our mayor now, Ken Walsh, for making sure we move forward and supporting this program. I'd also like to thank my wife, Andrew Dreyfus, for her love and support. Now, I may come up with all these great ideas, but I kind of like run it past her. If she asks me more questions, that means a good idea. If she kind of like walks away from me, it means like throw it in the garbage can. So thank you for that, hon, making sure that I get it right. But last but not least, I'd like to thank Gulf Coast Jewish Family Service and Community Service for offering this recognition. I hope that this recognition for our work serves as an inspiration for others in this field. And when I say that, I want to thank Dr. Brahm again and Terry, because if you didn't know, last year we actually worked through the United Nations and the State Department, and we talked about this program to 9 different countries. I hope that all law enforcement and mental health professionals continue to involve this program, because if one officer goes home safe every night, and if one person can find the help that they need, then we all can live in a better and safer neighborhood. So thank you. Is my hair okay?
And at this time, I would like to welcome our hosts back to the stage, Jay and Owen. They're going to host our raffle. We have tickets somewhere.
Is there a big fishbowl of tickets somewhere?
That's a good question. I guess you win.
Sounds good to me.
While we're waiting for the tickets,
Actually, we were going to invite Ron and Sherry to see it.
we want to invite Ron and Sherry Sassino to come forward for a moment.
Ron and Sherry were generous enough to donate their beautiful villa in Tuscany for this raffle, and one lucky winner is going to get to spend 5 nights in Italy.
Buonasera, this is it. It's 7 nights.
7?
Yes, 7 nights. It's a small village of 50 people, and it's nestled in the lovely Tuscan rolling hills of Chianti, so it's quite nice. You'll love it.
Tuxedo in your honor.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
So now we're drawing.
I'll get you next.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's one. Wait.
All right.
Here's one. Do I? Okay, I left my glasses at the table.
Oh, if you need assistance.
Yes.
I'll read it.
Yes. Tracy Matur. It's Mater, is that right? It's 347.
Tracy Nader.
You need to be present to win. I'm sorry.
Next.
Okay. Oh, and you promised me that I was going to win this.
I'm sorry, Jay. Sorry to let you down.
Thank you to Ron
Thank
and
you.
Sherry for donating their villa. It is not. It is 9:03, and it is time to go home. And we want to thank all of you. This has been an amazing evening. We've exceeded our goals. We've done a lot of good here tonight. And I'd like to thank everybody who helped plan this evening, including Owen. And thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you next year.